even if TikTok does survive this weekend, we're all going to be like permanently traumatized by this. We now know how technologically illiterate all of Congress is. We've seen that they don't understand the value or the importance of internet culture, that it's not just like silly-billy stuff. It's like how people are really organizing in the real world, which means our representatives are people who don't understand our daily lives or our culture. The Supreme Court wasn't weighing in on like whether or not banning TikTok was a good idea or a valid idea. All they were weighing in on is whether or not that law was permittable, like on technicalities. So we now know that, yeah, in fact, our government can just disappear, a Thanos snap, any social media site at all, and that's completely legal. That's stressful to know. TikTok is not all the way in the clear. This is just pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off, which means we're going to be having the same meltdown again in like 6 months. And on a personal note, when it became like a real thing, like, hey, they might get rid of this, I realized how addicted I was to this app and my phone, and I didn't like finding that out either. I don't like how addicted I am to this app. I want to spend more time doing stuff that like takes a lot of time, like doing home recordings, reading books, exercising even. Because like TikTok really is like the epitome of the Bo Burnham, you know, everything all of the time of the internet. It's so easy. Like if I have just 1 second of free time, I could just whip out my phone, click one button, and have an infinite stream of like absolutely fascinating factual information, cultural information, yada yada yada. Like that's really hard to resist. You know how when people have a near-death experience, they go and like evaluate all of their life choices and like their habits and everything? Like we've all had a digital near-death experience. So my digital life will be different on the other end of this, and I don't know how. You can go to my bio. I got other socials that you can follow, but I've only ever posted on TikTok. Like if TikTok didn't exist, I just would stop being a citizen of the internet. I'm not interested in using other social media. So you can follow them there, but I don't really do much on those platforms. And I actually have been backing up all of my TikToks to YouTube this entire time. Like the 3 or 4 years that I've been on TikTok, I've reposted every single one of my TikToks over on YouTube. So you can find them there if you really wanted to. But I'm not really promoting them. That's just like my personal archive, you know. I am not making bets about whether or not this is going to go away or not go away. I am making bets that this is just going to be up in the air. TikTok is just going to be in limbo in the United States for another year. It's going to become another political football that the parties kick back and forth. Probably for a long time, maybe forever. But I'm taking that as a sign to try to reevaluate what a healthy relationship with my phone looks like. So there you go. If they are banning social media apps because they are national security threats, then we would have gotten rid of Facebook after January the 6th. What data even exists about me that is a national security threat? TikTok knows my age, it collects location data on me, it has a link to my YouTube page, and it has an incredibly detailed profile of my likes, interests, and hobbies. Now, I understand that all of that is creepy. I understand that all social media apps have at least that much information about me. I understand that surveillance capitalism is the devil. But I do not understand how any of that constitutes a national security threat. I promise, government, I don't know any launch codes. They couldn't get it from me even if they tried. It is day one of the enshittification of TikTok. I put this comment on a video I posted a couple days ago. I said this whole shit show with the ban might accelerate the enshittification of TikTok. And I said TikTok might be different after the 19th. Man, it didn't even make it till after the 19th, by the end of the day on the 19th. Because it turns out your boomer senator was right. TikTok is totally willing to play ball and carry water for propagandists. It just wasn't the CCP. It wasn't even the Republican Party. It was Donald Trump personal. Every single notification I got on TikTok about them working to restore it mentioned Trump by name, called him President Trump. He's not the president yet. And I know why they did it. You got to glaze him up. You got to make him feel, oh, you're so smart and so handsome, Mr. Trump. Please, will you do this one thing? And that little worm Shochu was willing to do it. This is textbook, exactly what Timothy Snyder's saying in that On Tyranny book. What's the #1 rule of resisting a fascist? You don't obey in advance. TikTok obeyed in advance. I'm not loyal to an app. I'm not interested in the app. I'm interested in the people. I'm going to stay here because this is where people are. This is where the people are. This is where the culture is happening. But I'm glad that all of us at least made an account and dipped our toes into Instagram and Blue Sky and Red Note, because I am ready to get off this platform already. I am an older millennial. I've seen the enshittification of every other social media. I know what it looks like. This is the beginning of the end of TikTok. Shou-Chew is just like Elon Musk. He's just like Zuckerberg. He's just groveling down at the feet of the bully and glazing him up so that he can be part of the mean kid club. Shou-Chew does it differently because he's a little less pathetic when he does it. He's a better actor, but fuck that man. None of those notifications needed Trump's name in them. That is intentional propaganda. There is no way possible they needed to shut down for 16 hours. There's no such thing as a law or policy that changes in 16 hours at the federal level in the United States. It can only get worse from here. The only question is how fast. Okay, so just to be clear, TikTok is still banned in the United States. Like, nothing changed, nothing is different. If you go to your app store right now and you search for TikTok, there's nothing. And that is how this always was going to work, right? Like, from the beginning. A lot of people got it in their heads that, like, a TikTok ban, quote unquote, meant that it was going to, like, be deleted off your phone mystically, or everyone was going to get locked out of their account. Never was the case. That was a rumor on TikTok, funnily enough. But, like, the TikTok ban always from day one was, we're going to stop carrying it in the app stores. The law only applied to app stores. Couldn't be in an app store anymore. And that is what happened. It is not in your app store. So Americans are no longer receiving updates. If you get a new phone, I don't know how you're going to download the app. If the app gets deleted off your phone or whatever, you got to reset your phone. I don't know how you're going to get the app again. I still don't get what the point of the shutting down for 16 hours was, because that's not part of the law. That was something that TikTok voluntarily said that they were going to do. They said, okay, if we can't be carried in the app stores, then we're just going to leave the United States altogether. It was like the closing down and then coming up and putting Trump's name and everything. That was the little fascist worm Shou-Chew, that piece of shit, doing some sort of dick-sucking exercise, power play, whatever, to try to get in Trump's good graces, I guess, so that this will change, so that they can start working toward getting TikTok available and unbanned in the United States. But what the fuck do we know? So nothing has changed. TikTok is still banned in the United States in the exact same way that they always said they were going to ban it. It's worse now, though, because now we know our boomer senators were right. Like, TikTok is totally willing to do propaganda and push propaganda for political reasons, for political actors. It's not the CCP and it's not the Republican Party. It's Donald Trump personally. Right? This is Trump's platform. He owns you now. But there's too many accounts saying, like, oh, the ban only lasted 14 hours. No. That's not what happened. That's not what was going to happen. I am starting to think that we should just get rid of this fucking app anyway, because everybody is poorly informed on TikTok, because the information goes really fast and you are not keeping up. I am 40 years old and I'm on this app, and my brain is running faster than a lot of you Gen Z kids. So that's embarrassing for you. Get your shit together. Stop getting all your news from TikTok. Read a fucking newspaper. I'm disappointed.
Trump saving TikTok feels a lot like when my dad bought me a car.
No, he didn't. Trump didn't do shit. Go open the fucking app store. TikTok is not there. You cannot download it. That is literally what the TikTok ban was from the beginning. The PFACA, whatever it is, the Protecting Americans from Foreign. That act said you cannot be in the app stores in the United States anymore, TikTok. And TikTok said, well, fine then. I'm taking my ball and going home and deleting it for all Americans. If I can't be distributing the app in the United States, I won't service the accounts that are in the United States. They shut it down for a few hours and then put up a fake post that said Donald Trump fixed it. He didn't fix shit. He didn't fix shit. It's still not in the app store. That is the entire point of this TikTok ban. This shit is embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing. I really hope this kid deletes this video. You are just somebody's fucking useful idiot. You kids got to get off your fucking phone. Go read AP, go listen to NPR, go watch PBS, go consume real news. This rumor mill is fucking infuriating.